everyone, this is Chris McKee with Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. Today, I wanted to revisit a video that we did a few years ago. After the 700 series was redesigned by Taylor, and that followed the redesign of the 800 series, we did a comparison on a nice rainy day so that you could hear the differences between these two very similar acoustic guitars in Taylor's lineup. Now, if you're not familiar with an 800 series and a 700 series, both of the guitars are, and both of the series really, are spruce rosewood guitars, and it's been that way for a number of years. And most of the difference in the past has dealt with aesthetic changes, bindings and inlays and whatnot, as well as the grade of wood. But in more recent years, Taylor has been doing a number of changes to their bracing. There is the advanced performance bracing and then the performance bracing and all of that. What we come to now in 2018 with these two guitars is the V bracing. So now that we have a 714 CE and an 814 CE that are both V-braced guitars with the latest and greatest changes from Taylor, I wanted to compare them for you again so that if you're shopping these, which is pretty common, you'd have an idea of the differences both in the specs, the aesthetic choices, and the sound, which I think is really of importance when choosing your guitar. So the one that I have in my lap is a 714 CE. The one on the stand is the 814 CE. I'll tell you about both of these guitars and we'll play both so that you can compare. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to tell you what I think about the guitars as far as the tonal differences between them. I want you to really kind of come to that on your own and let us know in the comments. So the 714 this is a Grand Auditorium. They both are. So Grand Auditorium with a cutaway and electronics. This is Taylor's design. This has been their body shape that that Bob Taylor designed, and it's been really their most popular design, and so popular that it's starting to kind of be copied by some other manufacturers in shape anyway. The guitar features East Indian rosewood back and sides. And a Lutz or Lutz spruce top. It features wood binding. I believe it's pine or fir. It's got this beautiful kind of natural herringbone around the border of the top that's made with the grain pattern of the wood. And then that's echoed here on the rosette as well. The pickguard's cool. It's kind of called, it's got this weathered, worn leather look, but it's actually compressed rosewood and ebony, so it's wood that's used on there. Ebony bridge, ebony fingerboard, reflections inlay in abalone and mother of pearl on there, and on the headstock. Now this is new for the V-Class guitars, and something I've been talking about with people on in some of the communities online. So the way to spot a V-Class guitar at a distance quickly is they will have a black graphite nut. They have an inlay on the headstock, so if it's a guitar that previously didn't have an inlay, which is pretty much anything from the 800 series down through the 300 series, now you can see that as a visual representation. And you can also look in the sound hole because they have a new label in there as well, which is kind of a redesigned label with Bob Taylor's signature in the watermark and Andy Power's signature on there as the master guitar designer. Inside, both of these guitars have been changed with the new V-Class bracing, which we have done numerous videos on, so you can go back and watch any of those where we've done full reviews on these guitars and talked about the significance of V bracing. I won't go into depth on this video, but I'll basically say the guitars are louder, they have more sustain, and the intonation is more accurate. It's crazy, and it's cool. And it works. It's kind of a breakthrough. But instead of an X brace, it's a V brace coming through here. Both of the guitars feature that. And the 7 series has hide glue or protein glues used in the construction of it. It also has the Taylor proprietary ES2 pickup system. So that is the 700 series. Let's take a look at the 814 CE. And what you're going to notice is a few aesthetic changes, and then I'll talk about some of the build changes as well. So the back and sides are also East Indian rosewood. You can tell it's a little darker on this guitar. This is going to be a higher grade based upon Taylor's factory grading system. As woods come in, they get a shipment and they start putting rosewood for 400 series, rosewood for 700 series, rosewood for 800 series, 900 series, and so forth aside. The binding is pale maple binding. The top is Sitka spruce. It has a border of rosewood, a rosewood pick guard, and an abalone rosewood rosette, which is really beautiful. Ebony bridge, and this real nice striped, streaked ebony fingerboard. You know, there's an incredible story about Taylor's conservation efforts with ebony. I invite you to watch any of their YouTube videos talking about it. It's pretty phenomenal what they are doing to ensure that us guitar players have some fantastic tone woods to utilize for years to come. And they've showcased this beautiful colored ebony on the fingerboard of their flagship guitar. The fretboard and the headstock is now framed with this beautiful pale maple and has the elements inlay up there on the ebony headstock as well. ES2 pickup system and so forth. One of the key differences between this guitar and the 700 series is the top wood is Sitka spruce. It still has protein glues, but the finish is thinner on this. It's 4.5 mils, which is an incredibly thin finish. And what that allows the guitar to do is basically be more open, be more resonant. So the differences you're going to hear tonally are going to come down to the species of the top wood. Lutz is kind of a natural hybrid between Sitka and white spruce, very similar to like Adirondack in its response, and typically has a little darker tone to it in my experience. And of course it has the typical finish, which is still pretty thin, but it's a little over 6 mils compared to 4.5. And so those are going to be really the key differences in addition to the wood grading that determine the tone of these two guitars. So check it out. So there you have it. These are both incredibly great guitars. God, you'd be great with either one of them, but I want you to comment below and tell me what you thought between the tonal characteristics of both of them. I'm not going to go into my opinion, and hopefully you can hear the nuanced differences on YouTube, but if you're listening on your phone, probably not so much. Use some headphones or something, and you'll hear the differences that are there between these great guitars. Here's something I wanted to point out, though, kind of as we end the video, of how great the V bracing is, and what's so exciting about it. When you play a really great guitar, you know, one of the fantastic things about it is that there's so many harmonics in the guitar. Every note, so bass notes have treble and treble notes have bass, and it's just this very full tone. The thing that's difficult a lot of times on a guitar is the harmonics across the fingerboard and the accuracy of the intonation. I've played some really high dollar luthier build guitars that are like, you know, $30,000, and you can do this on them. It's hard to find factory guitars that you can do this on. So, you know, we have harmonics at the 12th fret, right? We have harmonics at like the 5th fret and at the 7th fret. But how easy is it to do it on your guitar at home on the 9th fret or this fret? That's kind of crazy. That's not normal to be able to go like just all over the place. Really, really great guitars. Anyways, comment below. Tell us what you think between the 814 CEV class, 714 CEV class. Thanks. Hey everyone, I want to thank you for watching the videos that we produce. We put these out to help you choose the right guitar, understand some of the options that are out there, and to showcase some of the latest models that you may not get the opportunity to play in your local music store. If you have benefited or enjoyed watching any of our videos, then I want to tell you how you can help us to make more. We have created a new t-shirt just for guitar nuts like you and me. It's this. It says, I'm a guitar nut. So if you're like me, you are a guitar nut. And if you're also like me, walking around naked is probably an offense. So we want you to have this shirt. Follow the link, go to our website. These are going to be limited time, and you can put in a pre-order for it now. They will be shipping soon. Once they're gone, they're gone. So follow the link below and get your guitar nut shirt that only you and other guitar players will understand with a knowing wink. Thanks again for watching.